Yo, this is Neville Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it? Let's get it.
Hey, I told you guys! Don't go burying us just one game! All I've heard for the last 5 weeks is we want Dallas! So all you haters, you come down to me! You fuel the fire! Because I want it! Are you ready? Hey, you dig it!
What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here. The night before I get in that Learjet, head over to AT&T and watch our Cowboys slap these Colts up and down the field. So I'm excited. This is that Sunday night game. I was thinking, man, it's been so long, but we actually did have a Sunday night game opening day. Probably wanted to forget about that. But it's going to be fun getting back to AT&T. I love the primetime games. I love it even more slapping the Colts and beating them. And I'm going to have a special guest coming on who's a Colts fan. I'm bringing him to AT&T. He's going to be my guest. He's going to be my guest in the suite because I want him to witness this beating with his own eyes live at AT&T. But, before we get rolling, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe, like, share. Things been blowing up on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, having a lot of fun, a lot of hate. I love the hate. Also like the love too. So make sure you guys do it. And if you're at the game, if you're going there, make sure you hit your boy up. We'll be at Texas Live. We're thinking about maybe hitting that Big 12 championship game on Saturday. So we're going to have a good time. It's going to be a good weekend. So without any further ado, I got to bring this is going back in time. My boy, one of my best friends from high school. He's a Colts fan. His cave is looking so sweet. But he's going to have to get a beating come Sunday night. How you feeling, Jeff?
Fly out tomorrow at 6 a.m. I land in Dallas at 8 a.m. I'm ready to go.
You're ready to go. Now, you see, I just want to show people, this is what I do to the visiting team. I made the flight arrangements. I told him what to do. He's landing at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm arriving at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so you can sit in the airport and wait and stew. And I'm wearing him down a little bit because then when it comes to game, he's already gonna be a beaten man. So,
well, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna be in Dallas before your 3 fans of this podcast wake
up. Oh yeah, are you cracking on the love of Tag Nation? Are you trying to say that we don't that I don't get the views, I don't get the support? Well, that's why I want you there, because you're going to see it with your own eyes when I'm hanging with Cowboys Nation, and I'm not going to be able to protect you now. I mean, I can try and talk nice, but if you've been flapping them gums and wearing that scarf and looking like a fool, I can't help what's going to happen to you.
It's all about the shoe. That's all you need to know. I got my MJF scarf. When I land in Dallas, I'm going to be rocking it from Friday to Monday. After we get that big win, come 11 o'clock, the party goes all night. Woo!
Oh, man. Clarence Beek said this guy has a bootleg man cave. Now, I take offense to that because I don't know if you guys, I know they're just cracking, but I don't know if you guys noticed this beautiful man cave. It looks pretty familiar. I was the artiste. He said he needed some help, came around, and he does have a bad Colts man cave. I'm not gonna hate on the man. So
the Christmas tree is in the way. We're blocking a couple more jerseys, but it's okay. I'm not gonna let you guys see the whole cave.
But hey, let's get serious for a minute, because I need you to tell me about these Colts. I don't know nothing about them. I know they stink. I know they're struggling. I know you got some high school football coach to come coach the team trying to improve stuff. But what's your thoughts of the team and the direction they're going? What's their chances of winning? What do they got to do? What are your keys to victory?
Well, listen, I would just tell you this. I remember a couple years ago when Dallas came to the Drum, big favorite, and we gave him a beat. I think Zeke had like 8 yards rushing. If we can get string a couple first downs together, we'll be okay.
Well, that's the key. Now you're saying we could talk about the past. We could also talk about the last time you were at AT&T and we dropped 40 on you, and you were too scared. You were too scared to go to the game. Use some sort of buffer that you had that your wife at the time was expecting some kid, and you used that as the buffer and the smoke screen because you knew the beat was coming. So you had that built-in excuse. But my thoughts on this game is pretty simple. Matt Ryan is a statue. I think I'm honestly concerned for his health. I don't know if he's going to get out of the game alive. What concerns me a little bit is if the running game gets going for the Colts, they shorten the game, shorten the time, drag it out, make it that one possession back and forth, then maybe you got a chance.
Well, I'm going to start by telling you this. I don't know if this is a G-rated show or not, but I'm going to tell you this. FTK, because there ain't nothing stopping me from getting on that plane tomorrow morning. That beating will be there. As far as Matt being a statue, that's okay. That's okay. We got Jonathan Taylor. He's gonna put up over 100. He's gonna lead us to victory.
Now we got some activity in the chat room. So here's one for you. You tell me if this is accurate. The Colts front seven on defense is good. Their back end is pretty good. Their O-line is Swiss cheese.
O-line is terrible. It is terrible. We had an all-pro Ryan Kelly. He's struggling a little bit this year. Your chance, there's a bum on the end. He's your chance. Raymond, he's a bum.
So what's the outlook? You're talking about Tank. You're talking about Parsons. You're talking about Armstrong. I mean, we come in waves, lead the NFL in sacks. You honestly think that your O-line is going to hold up and your offense, and especially Matt Ryan's going to be able to hold up to that?
I think, like I said, we're going to control the clock, run the ball, and we're going to be fine. Short passing game. I think we're going to be okay.
All right. Now I got another chat, and I love it. Keep them coming, guys. So we got another comment. I don't know. You say you watch the show. I don't know if you watch the show on Monday nights, but Jimmy. Jimmy D, my sidekick on Monday nights. He's there. He takes a lot of grief for his man cave and his background on the show. He does have a man cave. It's just not where it's on the show. But this gentleman says Jimmy D needs to step up his game. This guy may have the cleanup. Maybe the cleanup man. Maybe taking Jimmy's spot. I think that's what he's saying.
Well,
little Willie
and that's
D.
the thing. Listen, hey, you may be going to Dallas ready for the Cowboys. I'm going with Willie D, my man Scarface. We're rocking old school Ghetto Boy style.
No, we'll have to hunt them down. We have a good time. We'll be in Fifth Ward. So seriously, how is your receivers? How do you think they match up? You got Diggs. I mean, you got to give him his credit. Brown has been one that they might, if you're going to pick on someone, they've been going his way. Obviously, you got Bland, who's been playing in, because we lost Jay Lou. Of course, my son's favorite, Kelvin Joseph. Sometimes he gets on the field a little bit, but what's your thoughts about your receivers stacking up against our second?
Well, here it is. Pittman's got to have a good game. He's had a bunch of drops. He played terrible in the first half last week. Second half, he picked it up a little bit. But I'm going to tell you, Jelani Woods. Remember that. It's our red zone guy, Jelani Woods. I'm telling you, forget Uncle Cheech. I'm telling you, Jelani Woods scores Sunday night.
Are you serious? Now, Uncle Cheech, if you want to know, he was going to take, he always wants to pick on the Cowboys. I said, you can't do it no more because you're a jinx because of what happened with the Packers. And I was looking back at that Packer game, and it's even more evident that the man's a jinx because the Packers have lost 7 of 8. I didn't even realize that. Their only win was against the Cowboys. So I know what happened. I apologize to Cowboys Nation. I told them that is never going to happen again. Uncle Cheech is forbidden to pick on the Cowboys in any of his picks.
Well,
I
you
know he's a
listen to me.
Vegas insider. I can't trust him.
That bum Uncle Cheech, he picked the Chiefs to beat the Colts, and you're right, he is a jinx because we went in there and we waxed that tail, if you know what I mean.
Now let's talk about that because I tried to research a little bit with the Colts. So you've got the Chiefs are your signature win. That's a signature win for you. Can't deny that.
Right.
Then you
We
got
have another signature win you're forgetting.
What?
We are 1-0 versus the Cowboys. That's another signature win. Undefeated versus the Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
We ain't going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this season. Just like everyone tells me I can't live in the past, neither can you. So let's talk about the Broncos. You must be proud of that win. The Broncos a big win. You beat the Jags, and then you beat the Raiders. I mean, you got to be pretty pumped with that resume.
And you know, we blew 2 games. We had the Redskins and the Eagles. We blew 10-point leads in the fourth quarter and lost both games 17-16. Those stung a little bit. But I'm going to tell you this. See this guy right here?
Uh-oh.
This is the touchdown monkey. Whoa, we will be spanking the monkey all night long in AT&T Stadium. Whoa!
Oh, well, let's get to the chat because my man Steven, he's showing you a little bit of love. So I want to, I know some people dog it. He's saying you got a beautiful man cave, just a horrible team.
Thank you, Steve. I'll take that.
And then we got another Steve. Tony Pollard got 18 yards less than Jonathan Taylor, and Pollard got like 50 less attempts. So Pollard has more touchdowns than Taylor. So you're not only dealing with Tony Pollard, you're dealing with my man Zeke as well. I don't know how your defense is gonna stop our rushing offense.
I agree with you. Tony Pollard should be the starter over that washed up bum.
Oh, here we go.
That's his bad coaching.
They split carry. You got to have 2 running backs. You're not sucking me in. You're not sucking me in. And you got to choose one or the other. Just like MJ and Larry Bird back in the day. Why can't I have both? You don't need to choose. I enjoy both running backs. They're both very important to the team. You need 2 running backs. As you've seen, you've put all your eggs in Taylor. And what's happened?
Well, I'll speak on that in a minute, but Robert Newhouse ain't walking through those doors any minute. So, hey, you just don't worry. You worry about the best back in the league. I don't know if you're a fantasy guy. Last time I checked, you were 0-10. But I'm going to tell you this. Jonathan Taylor, he's going to live up to his first pick in fantasy draft. He's going to prime time. Big lights, bright lights, he's coming out.
Well, I don't see that happen because we are going to shut down the run because we don't respect your pass. You don't respect your pass game receivers. Plus, Matt Ryan is going to be on his back all night long. Maybe even after the game, but all night long he's going to be on his back. And just to clarify, because you're trying to offend me, this is what they got. This is what they do. We got a fantasy football league. Yours truly's always been in the playoffs, always been in the mix of everything, won a couple championships. They have the draft a half hour into when they know that I do my show. Jimmy D and I do our show Tag Nation on Mondays live at 7:00. They started at 7:30. Then they get one of their buddies who's not even in the family, so to speak, to come up late. So they delay the draft. So I couldn't even pick a team. I had to auto draft it. They did it on purpose. They tried to set me up. So that is why my team is struggling. I threw up the towel, but I did get a win last week. So don't forget that. I'm on a 1-game winning streak with a bunch of scrubs.
People of the podcast, listen when I tell you. Like the man Ric Flair said, I got more shower time than you got playing time. I've been in this league for over 20 years. I got more championships than Tag Nation has playoff appearances.
And what do we got? What's your record this year? I didn't get a chance. I haven't even paid attention. You must be in the playoff hunt.
I think I got 2 more wins than you. But just like Sunday night, head to head, I took you down. And when we win Sunday night, I want you to refer to me the rest of the weekend as MJEFF.
Now you really don't think you're gonna whoop us. Let's be honest. You're flying out there.
No,
Now
I don't
this
think we're
guy,
gonna whoop you.
I'm going on the Learjet. This guy's flying on Spirit Airlines. You're going out. You're going out there.
Once again, I didn't book it.
You're showing up at 8 a.m. You're gonna be sitting there waiting all this time, and I gotta say this. I don't mean to change the subject because we did. Ric Flair owes one of my family members $6,000 from 6 years ago. So I know Ric Flair is watching this. He knows what I'm talking about. This was a beach condo somewhere in where I live, and he stiffed the bill. So Ric Flair, you got to come clean. I've seen you down in Clearwater hanging with Hogan. You got to come clean and pay your tab.
Said,
so anyway, so
sir,
Jeff,
we're taking you down.
You said what? You think you're going to win?
I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be closer than the experts think.
So, what do you? I'm saying
21.
Dallas.
21.
I'm saying Dallas is going to drop. I think Dallas drops 40 on them. I think it's a 40 game. I think that I don't know how you're going to stop CD. You're not stopping CD. We got a 3-headed monster tight end. Gallup is heating up. Zeke and Pollard are going to be too much for your defense. I just don't think. I don't think it's going to happen. And we got a couple other comments. They said Jeff. They said your friend's going to become very familiar with number 33. You know that. Now I'm not talking about Tony Dorsett.
Wait, Tony Dorsett's going to be there?
I'm not talking about Tony Dorsett because Damon Clark wearing 33. It breaks my heart a little bit. I don't know why they give that number up. I know that they don't retire numbers, but every time I see that, at least it's on defense. So I guess it's not a running back wearing 33, but that does break my heart because Tony Dorsett he's one of the main reasons I became a Cowboys fan. And you're getting a little bit of hate. Doug says there's no way the Colts are seeing 21 points.
No
way. And Steve,
the bright light shines.
And Steve has my girl's back. Ric Flair is broke. He knows it, and he's called him out too. I don't know why the man ain't paid his tab, but he once said that he spent more money on spilt liquor traveling from one side of the world to the other than you made in a year, but he can't pay his bills. So we'll have to figure out that and see what's going on.
If any of these podcasts, one of your 3 or 4 podcast people could mention a good steakhouse for us on Friday night, I could go for a good meal.
Oh, you're going to
I don't want one of these chumps to put the Ponderosa. I want a good steak. I don't want the Ponderosa.
You're gonna go. I'm dropping you off at Whataburger. You're gonna have that. I'll be hanging with Cowboys Nation because we'll be at Texas Live Friday night. We'll be just getting the juices flowing a little bit. Then maybe Saturday. I already found a free barbecue tailgate.
Oh.
We got a heads up on. We just got to be TCU fans, so I got no problem. I'll go grab me a TCU shirt.
What about that other barbecue? Did you get invited to that one?
The one where I slap my meat on your grill? We got a prediction. 34-13 Dallas. 34-13 Dallas. What do you think?
Listen, I think whatever they're smoking, save us some in the parking lot of AT&T.
Oh, you'll get a lot of secondhand of that. This says the Colts literally have the easiest game Dallas has on the schedule up to the point. Oh, the Colts are the easiest game the Cowboys had. Do you think this is a cupcake game? Do you think this is what we call a homecoming game? Are we going to have our backups in by halftime?
All you have to do is look at common opponent. The Eagles worked you. They took them a miracle last play to beat us. I mean, just look at the last opponent we played, common, the Eagles. Didn't look good for you guys.
Well, let's and of course, you're going to sit there and you're going to talk about that game. We had our backup in. I mean, you're just like these idiot Eagle fans. They're touting these wins. The only time they've beaten Dallas in the last 3+ years, they've beaten Ben DiNucci and Cooper Rush. So if they want to ride that, and if you want to take that as a common opponent and get all excited,
So we're gonna if we're using that logic, are we gonna count those losses where Sam Ellinger was in the game?
Wait, that was a coach's decision. That was a coach's decision. That wasn't injury.
Matt Ryan was hurt.
That was performance.
Next thing you know, they were going to bring in Mike Pagel.
Wow, they might need to go get who's your boy number 10 back in the day.
There's Trudeau, Jack Trudeau, Art Schleister.
The one in the 80s.
It was Jack Trudeau Jack Trudeau was late 80s, early 90s.
No, early 80s. Burt Jones?
Oh, that'd be Schleister.
It wasn't?
Oh, he was a little bit. He was 7. Burt Jones was 7.
All right, you might have to go get Burt Jones or something like that. But seriously, I'm looking forward to, all kidding aside, I'm looking forward to the trip because you're going to be my guest of honor. I treat you with the utmost respect. I got you top tickets, Spirit Airlines, flying out of Florida.
Nothing but the best.
Getting there at 8 a.m. You wait 6 hours so I can relax a little bit. I took the day off. I maybe stop at get a little lunch, relax, get on the plane, and then you pick me up curbside, and then we'll head to the finest hotel. Make sure your room is all taken care of because I want you to witness this beating. I want you to be refreshed, invigorated, because I want to make sure you're wide awake to see this beating.
Can I put a challenge out there?
What kind of challenge we got?
I want to challenge all of these ham and eggers that are into this podcast. If they see us this week, come say hi. I want to see how many people actually recognize the great Mike Tag. That's what I want to see.
Well, you're going to see it because Cowboys Nation, we dominate and in loyalty and everything else. So you're going to get treated first class. And the thing about the Cowboys fans is we always show a little bit of respect to our guest. And when we're beating you real bad, I got one rule. You stay to the end. You walk out. You do the walk of shame. You take it like a man, and everyone will be there. My man Doug's going to be there. I know Randy's going to be there. Jay Tuck's going to be there. So we've got a crew that is going to be at that game. We're going to have a good time. You're going to love it.
Now, listen. Hold on.
What's up?
Guys, you mentioned this is a night game. Some of them got to be back before dark, don't they?
What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying, we're coming there, and we're going to be rocking and rolling. And, hey, I want to see all their sad faces when we walk out of there with our 5th win. 5th win, brother.
You ain't getting nothing. But all seriousness, you make sure it's getting late. You got a 6 a.m. flight. I don't want you to be late because there's no other flight after that. You're pretty much screwed.
I think my seat is on the left wing. I think it's going to be on the left wing.
But anyway, you just go ahead. You go get some rest. I wanted to have you on because you're going to be a guest, and I want to make sure these people know I'm a Cowboys fan, but I bring the opposing fan, and I got no problem with that because we're going to have a good time, and I want you to see that beating with your own eyes. That way you know what this team's about. You'll be a believer in the Cowboys. You're not going to be the others yahoos that always got to make excuses. You're going to know this team's for real. And I'm serious. I am concerned for Matt Ryan. I'm concerned for his health. I'm concerned for his safety. We might have to go on that field when it's over and make sure he's okay and make sure the man's alive. This could be Ivan Drago and Paulo Creed all over again.
Listen, I'm concerned too. I'm concerned for that poor fella that went to a game a couple of games back. We did it was housing the hot dogs and the nachos. I'm fearful for that cat too.
And he fell asleep. The beating got so bad he fell asleep during the game.
Put him to sleep.
Well, the Cowboys Stadium has top-notch food. He can attest to that. He's hey, one look and the man. He's an expert on cuisine, and he said that we've got one of the best.
I'll be the judge for myself. But I'll tell you what, with that camera taking random pics, you better believe if I'm eating anything, I'm eating not at my seat. I'm eating in the stairwell.
Yeah, you're gonna be impressed with the seats. I hooked us up. We're gonna be in good shape. But all seriously, Jeff, I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you at the airport.
Me too.
You make sure you don't be late. You pick me up, all right?
Listen, hey, you just be there, ready to go. I don't want you to cower chicken out like most Cowboy fans when they go on good stuff.
Oh, here we go. Well, you're gonna have some people to answer to, but I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you manana. You have a good time, man.
Last thing,
what?
I look forward to you guys starting that 8-8 record. I look forward to that.
You're so
8-8-1.
You're so jealous. All right, I'll see you, man. Take care.
Later.
All right. All right, we have my man Jeff. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And like I said, he's a good friend. He's gonna show up. He's gonna show up. There's no doubt about it. But we're gonna have a good time. That's what it's all about, man. We're gonna have some fun. But Taylor, I agree. He ain't gonna get nothing. He ain't getting nothing. So we're gonna handle that business. This is what you call. We had that 3-game stretch which we talked about, and that was obviously with Green Bay, Minnesota, and then you had the Giants. Now we hit that point. Now we're gonna hit the point of the season where now what do we got? We got the Colts, we got the Texans. Now we're starting to we're gonna have the Titans, right? I think the Titans next. No, Jaguars, because I'll be there. We got the Jaguars, and then of course Philly. Then the Texans, and then I believe it's Washington. Hopefully I got that in a row. Trying to do it off the top of my head. But it's gonna be a great end stretch to this season. But again, for the Cowboys, all kidding aside, this is one of those games they need to start fast. They need to put them away. They need to embarrass them, and they need to get done with it. They don't need to be screwing around. I don't want to see us that first half where it's, hey, they're kind of hanging in there. We give them a little bit of life. We need to dominate them early. We need to put them away. That way we rest our guys a little bit more. And then we do the same thing next week to the Texans. I mean, they got no business being on the field with us. The Jaguars game, I don't want to look too far ahead. The Jaguars game is going to be interesting because I don't know if you guys watched it. They're getting better. Trevor Lawrence is getting a little better. They're going to be they're a young team, and those young teams just don't know what you're going to get week in and week out. So we never want to overlook them. But these are the games that we've got to win. And I don't want to win it like Philly, right? We don't want to win it like Philly, 19, 18, whatever it is. We need to smoke these guys. We need to smoke them. So next 3 games, Colts, Texans, Jags. I'm going to be at two of those, 2 of the 3. And then I'm going to be, of course, in Philly. So I'll be at 3 of the 4 games. So that's 3 victories locked up because your boy's going to be there. But I'm really liking what's going on. And, you don't want to look too far ahead in the playoffs. So I don't get too far ahead of myself. I'm not 100% sure how we're going to do the, if we're going to be able to catch Philly. I think we're going to beat them. We're going to need them to stumble. And I don't know if we're going to run that straight, without stumbling at least once. So more than likely, it's going to be one of those close races. So we're either going to be at Tampa, being the highest wild card seed. That'll be interesting in my backyard. So it'll be another crack to get Brady, or we're going to get that number 1 seed. I don't really think there's going to be much in between. Let's see. Let's check the chats, man. You guys are going. I appreciate it. Tyron starts. I think Tyron's going to be back. I'm not sure if it'll be the Texans the week after. He'll be at left tackle. You're going to put Tyler Smith at guard. You want to put your 5 best in there. And I said it earlier in the season, the best, you never want to see injuries, but you knew it wasn't if, but when Tyron went down. For Tyler Smith, you couldn't ask for a better, opportunity, and really for the Cowboys long-term, a better start to get him in there, to get those reps. He's, he hasn't been perfect, but he's a rookie. I mean, you're talking about a rookie at left tackle. That's not an easy thing to do. And he's held his own, and he's going to be a lot better for it. You get Tyron back, you slide him over. Now, I mean, you're talking about an offensive line that's one, we got some depth, but man, that's going to be a nasty offensive line into that playoff push. It's almost like getting Tyron Smith is almost like one of those big free agent signings that you get them to play down the stretch. So it's gonna be nice. Let's see. Hopefully I can read these. I'm hoping the Saints win the South so the Cowboys can come to my backyard. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I hope it happens. I hope Atlanta. I talked to Jimmy D. I hope Atlanta can get off their asses. I mean, they blew that game last week. I would love Atlanta to win that division because that division is going to be the 4 seed. There's no doubt about it. Whoever's second in the East is going to be the 5th seed. So either us or Philly is going to be playing whoever comes out of the South. I would much rather be Atlanta. Obviously, Tampa. The only thing I don't like, obviously, is Brady. I mean, Brady is just it's like he's like Rodgers to me. I just don't want nothing to do with him. I was hoping that he'd be put off the pasture, um, and uh, and see what happens. Peters, no, I don't unless you're wanting to get Tyler some work at guard and you do that. I mean, Tyler's held his own there. I don't know if I mess with it. I think you leave it alone. Peters has come in. They've been spot playing him here and there, but I just think unless their ultimate plan is, hey, let's get Tyler Smith some work at guard just to kind of prep him up for Tyron's return. But whatever they do, my bottom line is you need to do whatever you got to do to win. I don't need to play no games. It's the same thing I talked about with Zeke and Pollard. You saw what Zeke was doing on Thanksgiving. He was a hot hand. He had it going. They need to keep feeding him. If Pollard's a hot hand, you need to keep feeding him. There's no egos, and that's a beautiful thing that we have with these running backs is all they want to do is win. They just want to win. And if Zeke gets 20 carries and Pollard's 10 or 20 for Pollard, 10 for Zeke, I don't think neither one of them cares as long as we win the game. And I think Odell Beckham, I think that's a done deal. I think he'll be there on Monday, and he saved the best for last. He'll get signed. The question for him is, what are we going to get? I think it's going to take some time. I don't think he's going to be the answer all, the savior, but he's going to be one that's really going to open things up more for CD and for Gallup, for the running game even more, because they're going to have to respect it. So it's going to be exciting if they get him signed, get it worked out. I think I don't expect him to play much. He's going to be kind of there, but I think by playoff time he would be in, kind of work through those issues. If you kind of saw with Gallup, it was like 3 or 4 games before he got better each week. And I think Gallup's back to his old self. You're wearing that Zeke. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything, but when you see the hype video tomorrow out in front of AT&T, this was my return. It's been too long since I've been here, so I'm breaking out an extra special jersey for that promo. So make sure you guys definitely you tune in, you check it out. It'll be on obviously Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube and all that kind of good stuff. But definitely check that jersey out because I'm dusting off some stuff. Let's just say we got to get it ready. That's all we need for Oz. Yeah, all we need Odell for is the postseason. Get his work in. Treat the regular season like training camp, preseason. Get comfortable. Get some synergy with Dak and the rest of the group. But I mean, the thing with Odell, I mean, he's professional. He's a veteran. I got no issues, no concerns about him being able to step up to contribute. He's been there, done that, right? Championship in the locker room. We don't have a lot of that. I've said it before. I don't think we have any guys that have championship experience. So I think that's really worth the money and the risk and everything that you're going to send. That you're going to spend on him. This is the run. I've said it before. I'm not saying anything you guys probably don't know already, but this team, no excuse for them not to go deep into the playoffs. The NFC is wide open. And when I mean wide open, I don't even really mean, I think it's a 2-horse race, or really 3. I think it's a 2-horse race, but the one of the horses in there is probably going to get all pissed off. But I don't know how you guys feel, but the team that worries me the most is San Francisco. I think Philly, I think we're going to stomp Philly. I think we're going to beat Philly easily on Christmas Eve. I don't think Philly's, I don't know how Philly will be. So it'll be interesting, but they don't worry me. But 49ers are the team that I've got some concerns with. We don't match up well against them, but we've got some matchups that would hurt them too. So that's going to be exciting to see. And again, when you look at the playoffs, you look at the seedings, it's kind of, the team that worries me the most is San Francisco. More often than not, the way the seeding is, we probably wouldn't see them unless some crazy stuff happens in the playoffs. We probably wouldn't be able to see them until the championship game because, if everything worked out, let's say you play Tampa or Philly played Tampa, the winner of that game would play either Philly or Dallas, which one of, if we did that. So more often than not, there's a high probability that we're probably going to end up seeing, we might see Philly and Philly's going to see us in the playoffs. So it'll be interesting. And yeah, penalties are a thing that worry me. It's been hot and cold, right? So, one game it's not so bad, then it kind of gets a little out of hand. And that's a great equalizer, just like turnovers. Penalties are almost like a turnover, especially on defense. You get a holding call, defensive holding on a 3rd and 10, and you give them a first down. I mean, that's just like having a turnover. If you get, holding on offense and it's 1st and 10 and it's 1st and 20, I mean, high probability you're not going to get a first down. So definitely need to clean up some of those penalties. It seems like they're getting a little bit better. But having that championship in the 90s, that would be awesome. I don't want to see it. I'll be straight with you. I want us in the championship game. I don't care who it is. San Francisco is probably my least favorite team that I'd want to see in there. I know McCaffrey, I saw one of these are banged up, but it's just the way they play. Their defense is good. Their defense is nasty. I mean, they've got some physical guys on the line. They've, the receivers with Debo. So it's I'm not saying we can't beat them, but they're if you're going to say what team concerns me, it's going to be interesting. We embarrassed the best team in the NFL already. Which one was that? Was that Minnesota? You think they're the best team? Or am I missing another game? So we'll have to see. But yeah, so that's it. I just want to come. I actually ran a little longer because I had Jeff on, so I got to yapping. But I appreciate all the chats. I mean, I enjoy this. Like I said, I love doing this on Thursday nights. Jimmy D and I are live every Monday night. Make sure if you haven't checked that out, you definitely want to check that out. We have a lot of fun. Just, this is what it is, man. I'm not going to break down game film. I'm going to do all this crazy stuff. I just want to talk as a fan, get some interaction, see what you guys feel. You know how I feel about Cowboys Nation. You know how I feel about the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, I love it. I love going to the games. I hope to see a bunch of you guys out there. If not, Sunday night, I'll be there. Christmas Eve, got the whole family going. So we had to make this special trip. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Hope to see you guys there. I'll leave you with a little video, maybe get you a little hyped up, but the real hype will come tomorrow. Look for your boy. I'm going to be somewhere around AT&T. Once I land, getting that vehicle, getting that car that Jeff's picking me up in. Hopefully it's not some beater. We're going to head straight down to AT&T. We're going to drop that hype video, get Cowboys Nation ready because we're going to have a good time. So hope to see you out there Sunday night, Saturday, all weekend, man. Let's have some fun. Let's go Cowboys. Slap them Colts up and down the field and leave Jeff home crying back to wherever he's from in Florida. See ya.
And Dak Prescott, being the gentleman that he was, picked him up off that 50-yard line and said, "Why don't you just pack it up